This is part two of the 2021 Grammy performance by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. 2021 has not started off the best in terms of imagery for Black women, and that's nothing new. It's not anything new. It's just that it's front and center now. It's like it's being pushed. It's turned out more and more. And even at the beginning of the second quarter of the year, we have Lizzo showing her behind, literally, as I don't know why, take a look at the graphic, but it's not pretty. And what's happening is, I think it's demoralizing women. It's, Cardi B's performance, her song, her music is supposed to be a declaration of, embracing female sexuality in its fullest. No, what it is these corporate entities behind yet another couple of rappers, women who are very talented at what they do, pushing out filth and garbage and worse, which I'm going to tell you about in a few minutes prophetically, onto an unsuspecting public. But the damage has already been done. I mean, once you put this type of YouTube video out there, it's going to live forever. So, I think Cardi B was a little disingenuous, when she clapped back at all the parents and probably people like me. When she said this: remember, grown parents, only you can monitor what your kids watch, no one else. Okay, so, once you get to be 12, 13, 14, and you've got access to YouTube, you can watch anything you want to. You can delete your history. Your parents will never know if they're checking your phone like that. It's out there. It's going to live forever. But prophetically, that's what I wanted to talk about. So I have prophetic gifts. I see. God allows me to see certain things. It's just a gift. I have it whether I want it or not. I see whether I want to or not. Sometimes I see more than I want to see. Sometimes I see and don't say nothing, and I pray for people. Sometimes I see and I tell people things immediately. Sometimes I see things spiritually, through dreams, that I will struggle with it. I'm like, well, I can't tell them that, you know what I mean? Because, coming from me, they're not going to want to hear it, It's like, don't shoot the messenger, or they're just not going to receive it. And lest you think I am trying to hurt people, these entertainers. That's not my intention, but the corporations behind you, yeah, they're wicked. The people making these decisions to put these types of images out there in the world, their intent is wicked. And it's not just to destroy. It's not destroying the entertainers quickly. It's slowly destroying them. Who God only knows what they have to deal with to maintain, this prefabricated image of success. And then, of course, there's a demonic component to it. As I said, I believe music in particular it's like a wave, it's like a current that you can ride, just as you ride a wave. If you know how to surf, you can ride a wave, to shore. You can ride a wave away from shore, just ride that wave. So I feel like music is that, in something it's a carrier. So I think you can put evil things in music, you put good things in music. So, so I think that performance was dangerous. And I'm just going to go down the list of what I saw. I saw, in just a combination listening to the lyrics, okay. Also, I can hear things prophetically, and a lot of times, if I see you, I can look at you and I can tell there's something. If there's a weight on you or something heavy on you, I can sense that. If you're okay, you're okay. But so anyway, without further delay, this is what I saw, and I wrote this down. This is my little list. See? Okay, so I wrote down a stronghold around policing, an escalation of human trafficking in this. I think that's what that dance. This is what the dance symbolizes. This is what I heard in the music. Children and escalation of children becoming addicted to porn, and escalation in incarceration. I saw sexual bondage within men, women, and children within the construct of human trafficking. Illegal, illicit contact with the demonic through sex. Did you not see that demonic figure? There were two of them, actually. At least that's what I saw. Dancing around and seducing Cardi B as she did her dance. You know, there was a figure that kind of slithered up behind her, you know, and then ravaged her. So, and it didn't even look like a real man. It was green, okay? It was Hulk green with some kind of pinkish purplish hair and some kind of illuminated reflective face, you know, which was kind of scary. I'm like, what was that? And what was that? You know, like what was that? And it had on like a bra, you know, like a bralette for a man bra, which again, that's a man bra. There's no such thing as a man bra, right? So apparently there is, though. So that's kind of blurring of gender clothing. Okay. I saw increased lesbianism, increased homosexuality, increased strongholds around transgender dysphoria. I saw and heard in the music spiritual oppression, depression, more depression, an emasculation of men, more of that's coming, and an increase in idolatry. And again, in the lyrics, around certain lyrics about catch a charge, that was, you know, as you see these dancers, it's like they're doing these intricate dances, like it's almost like an incantation. It's music, but their movements were like incantations. And I think that's what it was. So I'm thinking there's going to be increased incarceration and there's something about the police. Something's going to happen within the police departments that's going to look like the police are on some kind of crazy steroids. Even see some stuff with trafficking and just beyond the pale stuff happening in police departments, and not necessarily just shooting, but around sex. I saw women being reduced to sexual body parts. There's certainly a lot of strongholds around sex, illicit sex. There's penalties, there's entanglements, and these are things that were introduced to children. Let's see. I already said sex as a form of manipulation and control. Low self-worth language in the music. Keep using this term. Prefabricated ideals of beauty. Focus on things rather than building your character. Build your character, young people, young women, young ladies. It is imperative that you build yourself up as a person. Find things that build you up, not superficial things. You know, it's not about, you know, the long nails and the weaves and just boosting up your body parts, because you're more than that. You know, you're a living soul. You know, God created you to serve him and to do great things in this world. And you can't do it if you allow yourself to take in music that's going to beat you up, ultimately try to destroy you. You know, anytime there's an encouragement to, you know, increase, you know, your sexual activity, there's risk of, and I'm not even talking about the spiritual part now, I'm just talking about risk of, you know, unplanned pregnancies. There's all kinds of diseases out here. There's, you know, the heartache and pain associated with just allowing yourself to be used by someone who has no intention or no wherewithal to begin with to be, to marry you, or if you become a parent, to be a proper parent, even if he doesn't marry you. So, or she, I mean, this applies to men too. You know, don't get caught up in those superficial things that will destroy your life. I mean, young men and men, you deserve to, discover who you are as a person before you get yourself wrapped up physically or spiritually with someone who is not your mate. Because sex is more than just for entertainment. There is a two becoming one, literally. And you don't want to tie yourself up like that, because some people have, not some, but, people have like some bad stuff in them, and that becomes a part of who you are, and you have to pray to God to get that kind of thing off of you. And I know what I'm talking about. To make sure, you can come before God consecrated and sanctified. And he will do that if you give your life to him and allow him to just be beautiful, be wonderful, and be whole as God deems whole before you try to entangle yourself with someone sexually. Of course, there were euphemisms talking about male genitalia, use of the N word in reference to a man. Again, I cannot stand the N word, and I don't think anybody with good taste should use it. I don't see it as a term of endearment when, blacks are using it. It's not, to me. It's an awful word, and no one should use it. I don't think people should get mad when people of other races that are non-black people use it. Black people are using it, and it's in our music, and it's just being pumped out there continuously by women. Women are supposed to be nurturers. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be people who, condition and train up children and, look after children. No, what these companies are doing are using these women to use mothers, or a mother, Cardi B in particular, she's a mother now, to just pump filth out into the world. I think, again, some men, probably not even black men, are driving this narrative that, black women are just objects of sex. That's it. And it's dismantling womanhood. On the other side of that, it's dismantling motherhood in the community. I think that's the ultimate objective. So parents don't have control of their children, or they're devalued in the eyes of their children at an earlier age, because it's being put out there by the music industry and the entertainment industry. I mean, I understand that strip clubs exist, and people go online and look at porn probably for free. Obviously, the ideals of what is porn and what is not porn, those constraints have been loosened, and the enemy just keeps banging at it. Just keep hammering at this, for lack of a better term. And I wasn't trying to be facetious. That just came out that way. I think there was a use of snakes. There are snakes in the image. So snakes, I'm trying to get my thoughts right. There's use of snakes in the video. And of course, snakes have phallic overtones. There's feminine energy, obviously, around snakes. There were snakes of all colors. There were, I wrote down, for whatever reason, I saw something about some ice cream cones. And I guess I did see that in it. Phallic shaped ice cream cones. Vanilla ice cream cones. So we're going to see more of maybe a transference of, there's some wicked transferring of bad things happen in that video. Of course, the pole, swinging on a pole. There's references in the Bible about bad references about poles and people worshiping around poles. And so, like I said, I don't believe that video performance was all that it was portrayed to be up front. Oh, there was a couple of other things. I heard a childlike voice in the video. That's why I believe children are getting ready to be attacked sexually more and more, and used, not just here in America, but wherever that video is shown, but concentrated obviously here, because this is the epicenter of where this stuff is coming out. So I heard a childlike voice in the video. Maybe it was a childlike voice speaking Spanish. I couldn't discern exactly what the child was saying or the childlike voice was saying, but I was disturbed by it. I was also disturbed by the child color themes. I wrote down Malibu Barbie colored themes of like the purple and the pinks, the oversized bed. It's like a dollhouse. You know what I mean? Like you were like they were figures in a Malibu Barbie dollhouse. They were so little. You know, the two rappers doing that interplay, offensive interplay on the bed. It's like you would have like two little figurines there, which was very bad. And of course, the worst is the sexual bondage because of the illicit sex with the demonic. I hope you learned something. I hope, if you have comments, there will be more like this. Like I said, a type of image is about recognizing those things in our society that try to damage not just Black women, but all women and girls. And, girls have a hard enough time as it is, just being respected for their minds. And yet here we are having, people in whole industries doing things that are destructive to me, in the eyes of the people. And there should be consequences for that. I don't know what they are, but it's like the cat is already out of the bag. And so as a parent, as somebody's sister, somebody's mom, somebody's father, somebody's uncle, brother, it's up to you. It's up to me to be vigilant and just sound the alarm and say, this is what this is, and don't support it. I mean, there's always going to be somebody who's going to support, that type of music. That's what they like. But we need to understand what it is and who's behind it. And ultimately, who the casualties will be for listening to that type of music. So I urge you all to pray. Start praying against this type of music. Organize yourselves, your youth departments, your churches. Spiritually, you can pray. If you have power, if your church has power, use that power and start praying. And pray for these rappers. Pray for Cardi B. She's in a bad situation. Megan Thee Stallion. These women are being used mightily. And then at the end of the day, they have all this money, but what if they lose their soul and cause your child, your daughter, or your son to lose his soul? We have to, put the word of God out there and let them know that there is a better way. There's a better way. People are suffering, and we don't need more of this type of filth in our fight that we already have going on. So, pray for these people. Pray that they would get saved. They're just as valuable to the kingdom of God. God can use them still, but right now the enemy is using them to destroy others. So pray for them. So again, I hope you stay blessed and stay vigilant. Okay? All righty. God bless.